Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. It is time for our weekly painting progress. And I want you all to know I am quite pleased with myself for the sheer fact that I got anything painted this week. Not only did I have to go back to school and all that entails, but with my brother and his family visiting from Japan, I was much more preoccupied with spending time with them than sitting and plugging away with paintbrushes. But nevertheless, we did try to get some stuff painted. I mean, like literally every day this last few days, it's been something. So unfortunately, my results are not as nice as I thought they were. And once I sprayed them, my can of Tamiya dull coat, or it was a satin coat, I think. I have a dull coat waiting, but it was at its last legs, and it was just kind of spewing out. And I feel like it really kind of hit a lot of the details on these guys, and I felt like his skin was not that green, but this is a really nice orc from Titan Forge. At least I feel like it's a really nice model. Part of their Badlands release from a while back, and I feel like these guys are a great Wadroon stand-in if you're looking for something comparable to the Conquest stuff. And seeing that... Oh my god, my camera's going crazy, I apologize. I'm still waiting for a new tripod. It is supposed to arrive naturally tomorrow when I'm not filming, but that's okay. And a new microphone, I think. I'm getting really fed up with the one I have currently. It doesn't seem to be doing a good job anymore, so we're going to have to get that dealt with. But you can see here's an actual Wadroon. I feel like they've got kind of a similar, junk aesthetic going on. Obviously, the stuff from Parabellum is going to be a whole heck of a lot sharper since it's a plastic model, but seeing as these guys are 3D printed from Titan Forge, they're a pretty nice match, and they're also modular, and they have a bunch of other stuff to go with them. This guy was a really bad print on my part. You can see here there's like these horrible artifact lines all throughout his leg, and that was when the FEP sheet at the bottom of the printer decided it was time to die on itself, and it just made an awful mess. But I don't know why this guy's been hanging around. I figured, you know what, why don't we go ahead and paint him up? So I did. Oh, this is like precariously balanced, and it's not cooperating. Oh well. Alright, what else we got? So, a while back, I had printed up some of Gomek's dwarven sci-fi models, and I had no idea what I wanted to do with them. And I kind of liked the turquoise-ish teal color that the GW stuff actually has. And so I kind of rolled with that. And I was really bored with it because I thought it was really simple and basic looking in terms of not having any detail. So then we started just painting random splotches of gray and silver on it. This being one of the more basic guys. Whether or not I actually painted his face correctly, I'm not even sure if that's the front of his head. This guy was a little bit more straightforward. These are like the heavy guys. And I'm now kind of curious to go back and paint some of my Forge Fathers from Mantic in similar colors and see how that turns out. I found a box of Dead Zone booster stuff that I haven't even opened yet, so maybe we'll crack that open in a video one of these days. That might be fun. Not that I don't have enough painted Dead Zone models yet, and unfortunately we have still yet to actually play a game. That is pathetic. I mean, that is sad. Between myself and Sparkle Trout, both of us have extensively fully painted multiple warbands for Dead Zone at this point, but we've never used them in an actual proper game of Dead Zone. I know my Marauders have definitely gotten involved in some one-page rules matches over the years, and I feel like I've fought some of his enforcers. I'm thinking of Raging Hero stuff, I think. But anyway, yeah, that's where my head is right now. Alright, a random Martin Atelier Magical Girl Assault model from their Japanese faction. What her name is, I don't know. I had a horrible time printing these because at the time I was printing them, the printer was, again, on its last legs with the sheet at the bottom of the print vat. And I had a ton of misprints, except for her. She actually came out decently, and I had no idea what to do with her in terms of painting. I know I have followed the Capsule Chibi Discord for quite some time, taking a look at other people's paint jobs, because he often posts them up there, but I don't know if mine's good enough to post. She's done. I've actually painted a couple of them at this point, but they're really cool models, and I know that they do offer cast versions of those through... Oh gosh, the guys that do Ignition Core. And I can't think of the name at the moment. It'll come to me later, but we'll have a link anyways for you if you want to check that out. Alright, what else do we got? Well, I've been trying to finish up some of my outstanding Bot Wars models. I want to say this was Hammerhead. It feels like a Hammerhead. His head looks like a Hammerhead anyways, from the Overlords faction. One of the few models from the line that actually kind of gives away its scale. As you can see, he's on a smashed police car, which I had absolutely no idea how to paint. And then I was even more curious about this police car because, after all, Traders Galaxy, the company that develops Bot Wars, is from Australia. And then I was like, that doesn't really make me feel like an Australian police car, but maybe it is. I don't know. It feels much more like a American one. Curiouser and curiouser, but it was a fun model to paint. My problem is, and this is a problem I often have with many models, and this next one as well, is that when I look at the actual, finished paint jobs or artwork, mine just never come quite up to, that level. Are they adequate? I feel like they are. Do they match the, official promo stuff? Not so much. And I felt that way a lot with, I want to say this guy's name was Heatsink. I know he was one of the Valiants from Bot Wars, one of the good guys. And I know the actual painted versions that they have has a lot more black involved in his color scheme. But I had painted and repainted and overpainted this guy so many times that I was sick of it. And I was like, let's just finish it up. And I mean, I did okay. I feel like, from a distance at least, it gets the job done. Grabbing. Now, the Martin Atelier stuff is a little bit tall. I'm looking for my Inquisitor at the moment, and I don't know where I put him again. There he is. Sorry, lady. You're not even facing the right way. To kind of give you a good idea. I mean, yeah, other than the car he's standing on, I would absolutely, if you guys haven't ever checked out the Bot Wars stuff, the Overlords, the faction that this guy belongs to, are probably the most compatible with other games because they're all kind of big, gribbly monsters and stuff. And in fact, I've got some sitting here that I need to film along with that 2.0 starter. So we'll get on that. But yeah, I love the fact that they have painted versions of all the models on Trader Galaxy's site, but they never have any pictures of the back. So if that was one thing I wish that they could add, would be pictures of the backs of the models, because I will look at those extensively prior to actually trying to paint mine. But I'm glad they're done. We're slowly building up our Bot Wars collection here, and one of these days, then we're going to actually give it an official try. Now, I am quite proud of this for the sheer fact that she's done. This is officially the model that has been on my table the longest in an unfinished state. I want to say she's been sitting there since I think I filmed her for a video. I feel like I filmed her. She was the Christmas Twilight Knight that came with the Christmax, I believe. Anyway, I didn't know what to do with her, and I just got absolutely sick of painting her. So I'm like, let's call it a day. Let's try to finish her up. And I mean, it's done. It's not like she's going to have any actual gaming purpose. It's way more just kind of a decorative piece. But she's finished, and that's the important thing. And speaking of finished, I'm glad I got this next model done. And we're going to see if I can put this on the camera without totally knocking it over. But unfortunately, in the process of spraying it, all the detail that I tried to put seems to have been lost. And that is this big Platy Belladon from Dragon Trapper's Lodge. And yes, it is a Platy Belladon. If you're not familiar with your Pleistocene mammals and elephant variants, you can tell because he has that shovel-like set of teeth on the bottom, as well as the tusks facing downwards. Now, this is not to be confused with other animals like the Gompotherium, which actually is quite similar, but has 2 tusks on the bottom and is much larger. Actually, this thing is about the scale of a Gompotherium because an actual Platy Belladon is about human size. They go up to about a guy's shoulders, typical person's shoulders. But I painted it, and then it's just like, you can't see any of the detail. I'm really bummed out about that. I did try to actually put a bit of shading in there, but all of the various grays seem to have just kind of been sucked up by the sealer, unfortunately. But, I mean, honestly, I think it's okay. Now, could I have actually, and should I have actually gone back and put something in those gaps? Yeah, that would have been a good idea. But I didn't. It's also a real chore trying to paint the inside of his mouth. We tried, though. I just like the fact that they did this, and I want to say they did another of these elephant-like animals in this release. This was in the monkey release. And I know the monkeys actually had like big armored versions with like command post howdahs and like catapults and other siege weapons on the back. So if you haven't had a chance, you know, we always do put those links down there. By all means, check him out because that's where you can find him. And I gotta say, I am, again, quite pleased with myself for just getting this much stuff done. I am trying to fight the clutter on my tabletop, but it is a never-ending battle. And it's just hot, and I'm tired after work, and I'm hoping as the year kind of, you know, slowly rolls along, we'll be able to get more of this stuff done on a regular basis. It's just been tough sitting down and finding that energy and willpower lately to paint. I'm just, like, exhausted. But it is early in the school year, so I know what that's like being a veteran. Anyways, as I mentioned earlier, we will have links to all this stuff if you want to track down any of it yourself. Do a better job than me, both in printing and in painting, I would like to add. I would absolutely love to see it. You can stick that weekly painting progress hashtag on any of your work on social media. At least that way I can see it. I do try to check it regularly, or you can hit me up on whatever app is of your choice. This is the one and only time of the week that I ever do like to plug the fact we do have a Discord. If you enjoy the channel, you know, take a look on our Patreon. You can get on there from there. And thanks to the people that have helped support this channel, like I said, I am moving on into the 21st century. I am finally replacing this lame, cheesy microphone I've got with a much better one, and hopefully with a new stand as of tomorrow. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everybody can look forward to much more stable and nicer sounding videos in the immediate future. So with that said then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.